Chumripsur, Namaste, hello. It was here at Phnom in Cambodia that the mighty Khmer Empire was born when Jayavarman II anointed himself king, breaking away from the Hindu Java Empire. In this series, we will see how the Indic influence was absorbed and adopted into the local culture and is still a pivot point around which the Cambodian culture and life revolve.
Hello and welcome again to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. Yet again, we're off on an adventure, and this time the word adventure can be underlined with red pen because we are deep in the jungle. You see, I had a thought. I kind of magically appear in front of these temples. And I thought, well, seeing as we're following the footprints of those Hindu gods, I really should show you some of the journey. So in this episode, not only will we see a fantastic temple perched up on a cliff, but I'll also show you just a small part of the journey those gods went on.
Often there are these large puddles fed by underground or overground streams. They may look quite benign, but they can be exceptionally deep. And just round the corner from that waterlogged road, and I do mean round the corner, everything changes. It is now pure sand, and this has its own challenge because it is literally as slippery as ice.
Another problem with travelling these roads through the jungles is gullies like this. Probably millions of litres of water go down it. On this occasion, we're fortunate. There's a bit of a track on my left-hand side, but so often there isn't. And the bike literally has to perilously go on a ridge like this. But if it falls into this trough here, you've got 2 ton of bike on your leg. And guess what? That's exactly what happened to me just moments ago. Hence, I've got blood on my arm and blood on my hand. Getting to these temples is often not for the faint-hearted. And that is the road we have just come off. And it's been a lot of walking. I've even crashed the bike, but it's not unusual. The terrain is so difficult. And our final hurdle is this cliff face here. And it is why a lot of these temples are not visited. As I say, I call them forgotten. I've been this way before. And although a horrendous journey, it is really, well, worth it. These rocks are extremely slippery because when we get to the top, we will have the most splendid view. And at last we arrive at Prasat Kroham on Kulen. And this was known as the mountain of the great Indra. And in this long abandoned city there was once 40 temples, but many of them are made such as this, with brick, and as such they've crumbled and dissipated with time. A majority of them are just piles of rubble now. But this city was truly impressive, and it was groundbreaking. What I'm about to show you is a LiDAR picture. It is that kind of special radar that penetrates through the jungle canopy and shows us ancient roads that are now not visible to the eye. And what you can see is a grid pattern, very much like a modern city. And this grid pattern of laying out those urban streets was the template for all future cities in this empire. It was absolutely groundbreaking. And this is the most beautiful of areas. I'm sure my microphone is not picking it up, but all I can hear around me is the call of the jungle birds. It is a very spiritual place, being aloft in the air up on this cliff with this ancient site. And it has been that way for a lot longer than you may even guess, because prehistoric sites have been discovered here. There's rock art on the caves not far from here. But it also holds another special meaning. Jayavarman II, the mighty king, proclaimed in this city his independence in 802. It was then that some say the Khmer Empire was really born, because he said, "Here we stand and here we declare that we are one." And look what they went on to do. The Khmers went on to dominate so much of Asia and leave us with such wonders as this. It is inside we see something truly remarkable, because there is an intact linga, and this is remarkably rare. And what I mean by that is most of these were looted. And what is truly special to me about this particular linga is I came here some months ago and I shot some film up here, and I spoke to a recognised expert, and I said, "Oh, isn't it lovely with the views and everything and the linga?" And he said, "What linga?" And I said, "Well, have a look at these photos." And he said, "My lord, that's a very recent discovery. That was never there before." So even now, isn't it wonderful that things like this, so very precious, are still being discovered? As always, we have the linga, we have the Soma Sutra, and the exit that goes out to the exterior wall. It is on the external wall we find this, a makara. This is a mythical sea creature, and it's a very special one because it was the vehicle of Ganga, the goddess of the rivers, the one that is oh so closely associated with the sacred river Ganges. So just think about that for a moment. We're up on a hill in an abandoned city far away in Cambodia, and here is the vehicle of that Hindu goddess. It's quite simply amazing. Now, if I shout the magic word, go, what we'll see is quite incredibly, this still works. And look, isn't that amazing? Because these kind of temples were like machines. They are to create this blessed water to help people through the daily trials of life. As always, I ask you to like and to comment on this video. As I've mentioned before, these videos are sponsored by the Embassy of India. And if you say that you enjoy our little adventures out and about in these mystical lands, then they may well commission some more. So please, I beg of you, down below, leave me a comment and let me know. I would be truly grateful. So until next time, this is Mr. B wishing you absolutely nothing but the very best. You take good care.